internet, my name is Lave and I watched, and I can't believe I'm going to admit this, the Playmobil Movie, which is directed by Lino DiSalvo, who I'm not familiar with. I did have to look him up. He's an animator, traditionally working on various animations. This, I believe, is his directorial debut, which is about a girl called Marla and her kid brother Charlie, who are going through a rough patch in their lives when, shock horror, they are sucked into the world of Playmobil and are separated from each other, and a whole bunch of adventure ensues as they try to find each other again. So the plot is generic as they come, drawing obvious parallels to the Lego Movie, which I will discuss a little bit more later on in this review, but I hadn't realised the film is also trying to be a Disney sing-along film at the same time, with very generic musical numbers throughout the film. When we first meet Anya Taylor-Joy's character, she's just got her passport and is like, I'm going to travel the world and go on an adventure. I hope something tragic doesn't happen to me and force me to grow up too quickly, which of course does happen, and she's like, oh, my life sucks now. And come to think about it, I'm not entirely sure what the moral message of the film is. It's like it's saying, hey, is your life tragic? Have you suffered a family bereavement? Well, we've got something perfect for you. There you go. You're welcome. Yeah, I know this isn't Playmobil, but, you know, gag. The animation too, especially the environment designs, are very bland and feel weirdly empty, lacking any personality or depth. It doesn't really look like a Playmobil world. Again, it just looks like a generic CG Western world or a generic CG futuristic city or whatever themed world they visit. The models and the keyframe animation also don't make use of the actual design of the Playmobil figures, the fact that their elbows and their legs can't bend. To actually tell a lie, at the beginning of the film, it does use that. When Marla first gets there, she can't bend her elbows or flex her knees or anything like that. And you know what? It's funny. They do some really good animation to demonstrate that. But then the film quickly forgets about all of that, and all of the characters can bend their arms and legs, and they use squash and stretch techniques, which are traditionally used for organic characters. But these aren't organic characters, they're plastic. Speaking of the characters, there are a whole bunch of them, but they don't really serve any other purpose other than to get our main characters from one location to the next, usually via an action sequence or a chase sequence. Like Del, a character that Marla meets early on in the film, and he seems like quite an important, integral character at first, but then he disappears in between the second and the third act. And Daniel Radcliffe pops up as this 007 type character called Rex Dasher, who really could have been played by anyone. In fact, I think that's the smartest thing that this film did. If you look at the second trailer, they really promote his name and his character to really try and sell the movie and make it appeal to the Harry Potter fan base, when really his character is just a cameo. Speaking of other movie franchises, this one obviously doesn't have the licenses that Lego has, but that doesn't stop them referencing very familiar characters to other properties. Like, for example, there's a T-Rex in this, which for all intents and purposes is the dragon from Shrek. There is a female version of Jabba the Hutt, and the main villain, as it were, this Roman figure, is a cheap imitation of Zach Galifianakis' The Joker from the Lego Batman movie, and that pretty much sums up what this film is, a cheap imitation of the Lego Movie. So that's my thoughts on Playmobil the Movie, and pause the video if you want to take a closer look at my enjoyment tracker now. Maybe I have been a bit harsh on this film because it's obviously been tailored towards kids. In fact, it's been tailored towards toddlers, but I doubt that even the hour-and-a-half runtime is going to keep them amused, and it's definitely not going to appeal to adults in the same way that the Lego Movie had such a wide appeal to young and old. In fact, do you remember when the Lego Movie was first announced and everyone thought that it was going to be a massive flop? Well, this is the movie that we all thought the Lego Movie was going to be. But let me know what your thoughts are if you've seen it, and as always, thanks very much for watching this review. I really do appreciate it. If you can, give this video a like, and don't forget to share the Lave. Hey buddy, do you want to go on a generic adventure? You do? Well, high five. Subscribe.